Hi, Assalamualaikum and very good evening to Dr. Marsila binti Muhammad Roslan and to our fellow friends. My name is Syari Kemal bin Abdullah S59589 and today I will present about zero emission shipping guidelines. Introduction. International shipping transport 90% of global commerce worth 14 trillion and consume 5% of global oil output. The shipping industry, which uses almost all fossil fuels, will need new ideas and technology to meet climate commitments. Next, Insidious says Malaysians ship owners are minimizing emission across their fleet. Ship owners may adopt short-term initiatives to decrease shipping emission by half by 2050 compared to 2008 levels. A UN-affiliated shipping authority says maritime accounts for 3.0% of global carbon emissions. IMO predicts global shipping emissions might rise 130% by 2050. Furthermore, the shift to zero carbon fuels will be speed up through the implementation of innovative technology. Hydrogen, ammonia, biofuels, and other energy sources all have the potential to cut emission by up to 80%. There are currently measures and activities in place to reduce the carbon footprint of shipborne pollution.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Next is literature review. This research focuses on Malaysia's challenges in meeting zero emissions delivery standards for goods and or services. Zero emission ship must replace fossil fuels and related technology and reduce greenhouse gas emissions from the growing marine industry. Next, in November 2018, MARPOL Annex 4 provided recommendations on developing a ship implementation on strategy for the 0.50% sulfur restriction. Annex 4 norms reduce ship air pollutions according to a recent research. In 2018, an example plan identified key elements like risk assessment and mitigation plans, impact of new fuels, modification to the petroleum systems, tank cleaning, fuel oil capacity, and segregation fuel procurement, and documentation and reporting for the petroleum changeover plan. Conventional residual fuel oils to 0.50% sulfur compliant fuel oil. The IMO's initial IMO strategy to reduce GHG emission identifies new energy source and technologies according to Clarkson 2021. The strategy proposes short, mid, and long-term steps to reduce shipping emissions, eventually eradicate them. Retrofitting existing ships is a factor in the creation of a ZES because it is almost hard to replace the entire ocean-going fleet with newer, more efficient ships due to the fleet's high fossil fuel consumption. The maritime industry uses ZEFS zero-emission ferry ships. This proposal includes a ferry powered by RES. Combining fuel cells and batteries is a well-known renewable energy combination for zero emissions fleet ship. Batteries provide backup power when FCS can keep up with the system shifting loads, and appropriate energy management system, photovoltaics, and cold ironing in harbors can help improve ship efficiency. According to Gilbert 2014, regulating low sulfur distillators might increase fuel price for operators and strain refinery capacity, putting the sector in direct rivalry with other refined product end users. LNG gas network require infrastructure modification. The fuel will likely only benefit new construction due to the primary engine change required. Although dual fuel retrofits are being proposed, and new LNG fuel ships could cost 25 to 30% more.
For the next part is limitation. Some purpose employing all-electric ships to reduce ship gas emissions. More ship means more pollution and environmental damage. The IMO requires electric ships for safety. The International Marine Organization (IMO) described low-carbon alternative fuels, including fuel cells, batteries, and supercapacitors, as promising technologies that can be converted into clean energy to reduce the environmental impact of the booming maritime industry. This is because the international shipping might account for half of global emissions by 2050. Maritime transport emit 950 million tons of carbon dioxide yearly, or 2.8% of global greenhouse gas. 50 megaship produce as much pollution as 760 million cars. Shipping release carbon oxide, nitrogen oxide, and sulfur oxides. International shipping accounted for 87% carbon oxides emission in shipments, followed by domestic shipping 8% and fishing 5%. By 2050, emission might rise 50 to 250%. International Maritime Organization (IMO) believes zero-emission gas ships are needed by 2030 for eco-friendly exports.
Okay, next is delimitation. Defining emissions is the first step in creating a zero-emission ship, ZES. Emissions are the release of a product or byproduct of an energy source into the environment. Common definition. Current shipping energy comes from fossil fuels, and converting them into useful energy involve thermal processes and thermal machinery. These operations produce work and exhaust gas. The purpose is to maximize ship navigation while meeting multiple operational characteristics as exhaust gas waste energy. Efficiency means meeting operating profile with the least amount of energy. The operational profile include navigation, berthing, and port cargo handling. Both the ship's primary propulsion system and its auxiliary system must be integrated.
In this study, we use SWOT analysis as our analysis data. Firstly, the strength using electric ship or innovative fuel will help to reduce near to zero emission that will give many benefits to marine environment. However, there are weaknesses, which is rising cost in modify the maintenance or the engine to receive the new fuel. Besides that, it gives opportunity to reduce air pollution environment, since we target to get zero emission ship. And of course, our marine sources will secure. And the last one, the threat. For our analysis is, if we apply zero carbon fuel, it has chance to spread other chemical reaction that will give impact, of course, the bad impact to environment. Thank you.
Possible solution and recommendation. The zero-emission shipping mission is a collaboration between government, the private sector, academic association, and civil society to develop, demonstrate, and deploy zero-emission fuel ship and full infrastructure by 2013, making zero-emission ocean-going shipping the natural choice for ship owner. Second, the recent closure of the Suez Canal service as a stark reminder of the necessity of marine transportation for business all around the world. The objection was cleared in a couple of days, but the maritime sector faced a far more serious threat. Third, according to a new World Bank analysis data, the potential of zero carbon bunker fuel in the developing countries energy efficient technology would not be sufficient to decarbonize the sector. Rather, the adoption and use of zero carbon bunker fuel is critical to achieve net zero emission. Furthermore, a second paper titled "The Role of LNG in the Transition Toward Low and Zero Carbon Shipping" demonstrate the alternative fuels as liquid natural gas (LNG) have an unclear and a best limited portion for reducing GHG emission.
In conclusion, there are various challenges in creating a zero-emission ship. For example, technological challenge to get an ocean-going ZES, the creation and scalability of main and auxiliary system equipment based on an electric configuration rather than traditional thermally based machinery. Next, alternative fuel challenge to get an ocean-going ZES consider storage capacity and use in electric rather than thermal-based device, especially for H2N and H3, because it is the only way to avoid the entire spectrum of emission that a current combustion process generates. Convert the existing fleet to switch to low carbon fuel while the supply is still uncertain. Besides that, an energy storage device challenge towards ZES life indication will limit the number of consecutive charge-discharge cycles and the amount of storage energy they can hold. The power electronic interface and power management system ensure that thermal-based devices operate with the lowest possible emission and with the most available storage energy. Thank you.